What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, The Hot Commodity, joined by my friend and co-host. Introduce yourself, sir.
It is Chris. This is going to be a wanky episode because I'm not at my current setup right now. Um, so you guys get to hear my beautiful voice today.
We'll make this a voice episode. How about that? I mean, you can see my face if you want to, but I'm
No,
pretty
I'm going to turn my camera back on
okay.
eventually.
We'll be back. All right, cool. All right. Otherwise, I'm like the floating head, just like.
No, I'm turning my camera back on. I'm just getting my stuff together.
All right. Well, yes, we're covering WWE Monday Night Raw from September 2nd, 2024, live in Denver, Colorado. And to start off this episode of Raw, we've got Wade Barrett welcoming us, and he introduces Joe Tessitore. Did I say it right? Joe Tessitore? Testosterone?
Oh
Joe
shit, my thing it's Joe Tessitore. Yeah, he's
Tess.
ESPN college football guy. I know who. I thought he did very well. Oh, wait, we're doing Raw, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Yes, sir.
I thought he did very well actually. Um, he's not a WWE, but he's a wrestling fan. And I think when you have, it's not just, I thought it was just one of those, oh, we're getting an ESPN guy because McAfee's gone. Like, we're getting another, but like, he's actually a wrestling fan. So like, although like, there were some little things I liked about him. Like, oh, it's Drew McIntyre in the hoodie. Like, he didn't play stupid. Like, oh, wait, who's that? Like, we know it's Drew McIntyre. Um, I thought he did a great job his first day. Good for him. I'm excited for him and Barrett. I think they're good together. Um, yeah, and you don't have to be the best announcer. You don't have to really know too much about really what's going on. But if you're a fan of the product and know the names, I think you could be a great announcer because you're essentially getting a raw, natural reaction. Like, oh my God, here comes Dominik. That's why I although I thought McAfee was kind of corny at times, that's why I kind of enjoyed him because he actually yeah. So good
Yeah,
job, Joe Tesla Store. I cannot. I've been watching
Joe
this dude on ESPN for years, and I cannot pronounce his last name. So
Tessitore, testosterone. I
testosterone.
I have two different, well, I have a different opinion kind of because like I liked him, like his voice is kind of like different, kind of reminded me of Michael Cole's, but I did get bored a little bit, and I don't know if it was their action or maybe if it was just like um I don't know. I feel like, for example, like I don't know, like what did he cover? He covered football.
College football and
Okay.
NFL. Yeah.
So I've always felt like when I watch those types of sports, it's always very like it kind of makes me like relax by like I don't know, it's crazy, but like their voices are very like so pronounced and so like today in sports, da da da,
Mm-hmm.
Um, so when I heard him talking, it did kind of make me feel almost like kind of like I'm listening to like a 1940s, you know, Yankee Stadium baseball game, which
That's a good thing.
again, I was going to say that that could be a good thing. But for me, I like the more, like, I really like Mauro Ranello. I really like the old
Okay.
school. Also, though, wrestling has changed a lot. Back in the day, like, they wouldn't be having TNA guys on with WWE guys. So I understand, like, the world's opening up a bit more, and now there's more interest in bringing more people in. Maybe people like that, the idea of that reminds them of.
It's a crossover. I feel like they're coming to Netflix. Um, they're WWE right now. They're trying to get back into the pop culture world,
Mm.
right? They're with them going to Netflix. They're giving college teams and NFL players championship belts after they win instead of a fucking trophy, they're getting a WWE belt. And like you see like the product is hot. Like it's like when I mean hot, I mean like it's very mainstream again. I feel um like I don't know if you know what Fanatics Fest is, but essentially like that's essentially for athletes. Like guys like Derek Jeter, Tom Brady, like the biggest athletes in the world go there. and they added a whole WWE section this year. And rumor has it, because a girl that I know, she met Rhea Ripley. She literally went just to meet Rhea Ripley and dipped. And she drove all the way from Hershey to New York just to meet Rhea Ripley. Respect. But she told me that like the WWE section was crazier than like Derek Jeter and like shit. Cause like they like Travis Scott, like all these people were going to the WWE section. Like WWE is fucking popular.
Hmm.
Like it is so popular right now. That's why I don't essentially mind, you know, a new announcer that's from a world where people recognize him, people know who he is.
Or maybe if they're gonna have him, maybe put him with somebody else. Because I felt like Wade Barrett, like, no offense,
I like Wade Barrett.
I
You
I
don't like
like
Wade
him
Barrett?
that I I feel like he's very commercially in terms of like that is just fun. Like he's just like I just miss like for example like Taz and Michael Cole. They had a good they had good chemistry. I'm not gonna use Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler because that is kind of hard to really compare
Yeah,
to.
they were amazing. Yeah.
But like Taz is more of the silly, like, like heel, da 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 da. And Michael Cole was more of the analyst person. I don't mind
Right.
Joe being the analyst, but then you gotta have someone like a Pat McAfee sitting next to him. I
And
don't,
that's what that's what made, in my opinion, that's why I enjoyed Michael Cole a lot more. Because Pat McAfee really brought him
yeah.
bro, if Pat McAfee, we would not see Michael Cole yeeting.
Hmm.
Like we wouldn't see. Did you see the look on Michael Cole's face throughout that whole episode where McAfee was like McAfee's last episode, like last week or the week before? Like he looked upset.
Yeah.
Like fuck. I
Well, I
genuinely
mean,
think
Wade
I
Beard
genuinely
doesn't
think
bring
I
anything.
like this might sound delusional, but I genuinely think Pat McAfee brought the best out of Michael Cole.
Yeah, he did.
Because like Michael Cole hasn't, like he's been doing this since I was born, like 2002, I believe.
He's
So
been
like
doing it before that.
in WWE.
Yeah, he started back in like I'd say like 95, 96.
Exactly. Okay, then holy shit, I know he was around. Cause, yeah, because he started off as a backstage interviewer.
Hmm.
Um, but like he's good. He's like the voice of my era. So like I always respect him, and he's like the first announcer that like you got you like Jim Ross, like Tony, like with the, like mine was Michael Cole, and um yeah, even Booker T's been doing it for a while too.
Yeah,
Because he was on
Ducky, Chuck
SmackDown.
West.
People forget he was a commentator on SmackDown for a while and
Mhm.
Raw before NXT. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we're talking a lot about commentators. My bad.
No, totally good. This is what I want to talk about because I was interested to see what you thought of him. But we have
No,
Rhea
I enjoy him.
Ripley.
I enjoy his football. So
Yeah,
he'll get better. He'll get better.
yeah, and this is his first night. So Rhea Ripley comes out. Rhea says, "Welcome to Monday Night Mommy. Myself and my Terror Twin absolutely brutalized Dominik Mysterio and Liv Morgan. We're not done destroying the Judgment Day. We're just getting started. I pinned the World Women's Champion. I think it's time to get back what I never lost, which would be the World Women's title." Dominik Mysterio then comes out. Dom says, "Liv is not." And then Rhea says, "Go get your girlfriend before I give you another black eye." Dom then says, "Liv is still recovering from what you did to her. You and Priest took advantage of me and Liv. We were jet lagged, didn't sleep for multiple reasons. Liv will accept your challenge. She's not afraid of you. She's beat you before. She'll beat you again. After I win the Intercontinental title, we'll both be champions." And then Rhea interrupts him and quote, I think she says siéntate estúpida. Uh, if Courageously doesn't want to face me, relay the message. I'll face her anytime, any place. And then Liv runs in, trying to attack Rhea, and she does. She ties Rhea's in the ropes. Liv then kicks out Rhea's knee. Damian Priest runs out, and Liv and Dominic run off. So they do get the advantage here, attacking Rhea's leg. What are your thoughts on this situation here with Liv taking advantage of Rhea Ripley, who clearly did not see her coming, did not know she was coming for her. So as we were at the Uncensored Wrestling podcast, for those listeners that are tuning in, Christian is exiting a fiesta, so he will be giving his opinion in a second, I'm sure. But as I was saying, I am kind of, I don't know if I'm
Oh, I
getting.
just had a little dog attack my leg and like hates me.
Oh,
Can you
the
hear me?
yes, the attack of the dog at the fiesta. That's like sounds like a Scooby Doo episode.
No, it's funny. My cousin took her chunk off, and the dog like got scared shit and lay down.
Oh no.
Do you
So
hear
what
me?
do you, yes, what do you, we heard about your dog is that
Okay.
you survived it.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
said,
survived it. My cousin got the chunk out. We're good.
what do you think about Liv's attack on Rhea Ripley, attacking her, trapping her leg in the ropes?
Why does she keep running away from her? It's so fucking annoying. Why does she keep running away from her? It's so fucking annoying.
It's a good question.
Like,
I was gonna say the same
you've
thing.
already seen them have a match. Like the Berlin match, Rhea just tossed her around like she was a fucking rabbit. Like
Hmm.
there was like they need to just have this final match locked inside Hell in a Cell, no interference, and Rhea really needs to win. I like Liv. I think she's doing some of the better work, but she's champion because Rhea's hurt. That's the reality.
Hmm.
I still believe Rhea's work was an injury, or Rhea's injury was a work. We never know, but they need to spice this up because it's getting kind of stale. It's just a cheating boyfriend, blah 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 blah. We
Yeah,
can't have that go on for a while.
it's a lot like an attitude storyline. But I do want to see Liv Morgan as a champion, not being like the pussy running away all the time. But our next match, or our first match tonight, we have American
Right?
Made. It's a six-person tag. American
Right?
Made with Chad Gable taking on Alpha Academy.
Is that not like it?
What happened?
Oh wait, I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I don't know if can you hear me.
Wait a second. All right.
There we go. Hello.
I say it's like the China and Eddie Guerrero storyline.
Yeah. Yeah. With China. Yeah. But this is another storyline. American Made with Chad Gable taking on Alpha Academy, six-person tag match here. Maxine's involved, and so is Ivy Nile. Chad Gable yells at Maxine. Maxine kicks Chad, and then Ivy applies a Dragon Sleeper, and Maxine taps out. After Chad Gable grabs the microphone, Chad says, "I've seen what it takes to beat Howdy. Next week, we want an 8-man street fight with the Wyatt Six." So Chad Gable drops the challenge. American Made is not going to survive this, I don't think. What are
No,
your
I don't think so either. Um, I look, Maxine is sexy, but she's just not a wrestler, in my opinion. I've been saying this for so long. Um, Ivy Nile, who can you hear me? Did I cut out?
I can hear you. You cut out for a
Hello?
second. You're back. Yep, you're back. Can you hear me?
Uh,
Yep, you're good.
okay. So Ivy Nile, who every time I look at her, think of JoJo Siwa. Um, I just don't, I don't see any value in her future. Um, I don't know what they could do with her, but right now she's just the Creed brothers' little stooge. Um, she's not bad in the ring, but she has no real personality.
Yeah.
To like a Rhea Ripley, like a Becky Lynch, like a lot of the girls in the roster have her actual personality. Maxine, she's just a dumb fucking hot blonde. But I don't even want her on my TV that much anymore.
Yeah, she is kind of Ivy
Everyone on Twitter was like, everyone on
12 year
Twitter was
old
like, oh
girl.
my god. Everyone on Twitter was like, oh my god, Maxine, you improved, girl. I'm so proud of you. Bitch, where?
I thought she did good.
Bitch,
I think
where?
She didn't do terrible.
She was mid.
She was better than Eva Marie.
Eva Marie?
Yep.
I don't know about that one. Eva Marie was probably one of the worst diva. She was the worst diva in the Divas era ever. But like, how do I explain it? Like, I guess Total Divas helped with it, right? Because in Total Divas, like, we saw her personality a little bit, and like, she does remind me of Eva Marie, but like Eva Marie better wrestlers, and back then, like, you even saw it on Total Divas, where like they made those girls train. Like, I don't really think like I don't know. They're similar in very very ways, but I definitely think Eva Marie had the better run. Treated a little. She was real on her own. Yeah, they were both fucking. My left nut could wrestle better than both of them though. So
We'll have to see one day, Christian. We have
yeah.
Shayna Baszler with the Pure Fusion Collective defeats Zelina Vega after a hard kick. After the Pure Fusion Collective attacks Zelina until Lyra Valkyria shows up and makes a save, but she gets taken out by the Pure Fusion Collective. Sonya grabs a mic and says, "There's not a man who can take us home or a woman in the locker room who can take us, period." So Sonya Deville basically laying it out, saying that no one's gonna touch her, which I'm not surprised a lot of the studs get like that, where they become men haters, and Sonya's at that point. But other than Lyra returning, there's really nothing from this that was great.
Lyra's ass.
What was that?
I said Lyra's ass. We don't really think she's good, do we?
Not that good. Not that good. I don't think
Well,
she's
we don't think
great.
she's good, right? She's
No. She's not terrible, but I do think she's
good in the ring. I won't
yeah.
deny it. But like, she's boring as fuck.
Yeah, she doesn't really have a personality. She comes out like a bird. It's like weird.
Look, people are gonna be like, "Oh, so you don't like this and this because of personality?" I will say, you're good in the ring, or you're bad in the ring. But for me to really be a fan, not like a fan, you need to have some personality. Why do you think I'm such a fan of like Will Ospreay, Seth Rollins, MJF, Damian Priest? Like a lot of these guys, like have personality. And when I say personality, I mean they we get to see a little of their real life interests play and a little bit of real life in them. You know, they do more interviews, like we know person like uh, these wrestlers
You are
don't
cutting
do
out
that.
really bad, my friend. I couldn't hear you there.
Am I? Oh,
Okay,
can you hear
there
me
you
now?
go. There you go. Yeah.
Holy shit, I just went off. Okay. I think that just has no personality. And it's like, you know, that's why that's why I'm big fans of those guys because I'll say you're good in the ring. I'll say you're bad in the ring. But yeah, you gotta make me connect with you and somehow. Like I connect with Priest because we're both Puerto Rican, you know, New York. You know what I'm saying? Like I connect with Will Ospreay because like we dress the same. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I connect with a lot of wrestlers, and like you just, I don't know who the fuck can say, yeah, like Lyra Valkyria. It's just she inspires me in so many ways.
A bunch of
Like
pros do.
I feel like when you're in the WWE, it's you got to be an entertainer. It's sports entertainment. It's the World Wrestling Entertainment. She
I
just does
guess
entertainment. She's just good in the ring. She's a good worker.
she is. She is. Well, we're going to take our first break. We're going to come back and talk about the CM Punk attack from Drew McIntyre, a tag team main event setup. We've got triple threat Intercontinental title match contenders on the line. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Yes, this is still the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm still the current pay-per-view champion, the Hot Commodity, joined by my friend. Introduce yourself, sir.
It's me, still Chris. I'm inside of a grocery store right now, so
Stay
sorry
away
for the
from Stone
background
Cold Steve
noise.
Austin.
Sorry for the background noise, but no, we're gonna finish. What are we talking
Yeah.
about? Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
So
It's
let's
gonna be
get it.
good. So CM Punk comes out. He talks about his Bash in Berlin win. He challenges Gunther to a match, but then Drew McIntyre shows up wearing a hood and attacks CM Punk. He lays a claymore on the floor, and then again in the ring. Drew then grabs a bracelet, breaks it, and then shoves the broken beads in CM Punk's mouth. He lands another claymore. CM Punk is stretchered out, and as he is stretchered out, McIntyre continues his attack on CM Punk. So, what is your thoughts on this? Obviously, we knew they were going to head to Bad Blood, but what are your thoughts on this attack?
I'm not gonna lie, they kind of got me because I thought they were gonna finally move on from this, right, and finally have like Punk go after like Rollins, even though I think he's still injured, or like Punk go against Gunther. Like they had me believing in that for, but I don't know. I like I said earlier with Joe or testicles or whatever. I think it was great how this played out. You know, it was in the hoodie. Um, it's I don't know how I feel. I kind of was ready for it to be over, but at the same time, they're even, right? They're 1-1. So we gotta kind of have to have a part three, and we know Triple H loves trilogy matches. That's all he's been booking since he's fucking took over.
Yeah.
Everything's trilogy, everything's part one, part two. So
Well, now that they've broken that bracelet, CM Punk is going to be fuming.
exactly. So we're gonna, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna get
Another match. I get it.
yeah.
Next up, we have the number one
Hopefully
contender.
it's the end, but
I hope at Bad Blood, I hope so. But we have Dominik Mysterio versus Dragon Lee versus Ilija Dragunov. Winner gets a shot at the Intercontinental title in that fatal four-way match next week. During the match, Carlito pushes Dragon Lee off the top rope. Damian Priest runs out and attacks Carlito. And then Damian chases Dominik to the back. That leaves Ilija and Dragon Lee alone. Ilija lands a huge uppercut, and Ilija Dragunov advances to that fatal four-way Intercontinental title number one contenders match next week. What do you think? Was Ilija the right guy to win this?
I mean, I guess, but Jey Uso should be the one to win it all. If Jey Uso doesn't win it all, I'm gonna be pissed.
And the Intercontinental champion is who again? It's
Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker. So Jey Uso and Braun Breaker. I can see that happening. But as of now, it's who? Ilija,
Jay, Pete Dunne, and somebody else.
Okay, so we'll
I
find out.
think.
But we'll find out next week, I guess, with that match. The women's
Yeah.
tag team champions Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill come out next for this match. Damage Control versus Isla Dawn and Alba Fire for the number one contendership spot. During the match, Kairi Sane gets like her nose busted or something. She's bleeding bad. Alba and Isla land a face buster combo to Kairi Sane, or I'm sorry, to Io Sky, and Alba Fire and Isla Dawn will once again try to go after those women's tag team titles. What do you think?
Oh, I don't care. I don't care about this shit anymore.
I'm tired of seeing the champions automatically get a rematch. Like, I get it, they deserve it, but like, do something different. Like, I would rather have seen Damage Control versus
I agree.
and Jade. But I get Alba and Isla are the female teams that are heels along with the Pure Fusion Collective. So, but really nothing to talk about there. World champion Gunther comes out next. Gunther says, at Bash in Berlin, I beat an amazing legend. I can stand here and claim that I beat the greatest version of Randy Orton. That weekend was another chapter in the greatest legacy in history. And then Sami Zayn comes out. Sami says, when we talk about the legacy of the Intercontinental Championship, they call it a workhorse title. The true greats, the legends, use the Intercontinental title as a stepping stone to the WWE Championship. That's exactly what you did, and now that's exactly what I'm going to do. Gunther says, when you won the Intercontinental title, you step down. When you get knocked down, you pick yourself up and come back. Now you challenge. Now you're challenging for the title. If you really want this, my answer is no. Sammy says, I've watched your entire career. Why are you backing down from this fight? You know full well I am the only guy who has beaten you in this ring. I'm coming for you, and I will be the world champion. So we now know immediately that it's going to be Gunther and Sami Zayn. So, what are your thoughts on that happening here?
I mean, I kind of like it, so it's not the worst thing, but it's one of the parts of the show I just didn't really pay too much attention to.
Yeah, listen, I get it.
Sorry, I was taking a
No,
sip of
you're
my water,
fine. I was
but
feeling the same way. I thought it was cool because we know that Sammy has beaten Gunther, but aside from that, it's kind of
like I hate Sami Zayn. Like I generally do not like Sammy. Like I'm so tired.
like this makes sense, right? Because like Sammy is the only one that's beaten Gunther in the recent, so like, but like, bro, Sami Zayn's awful.
I get it. I agree. He doesn't really. Gunther was right. He said you kind of step down. Like when Sammy won the title, he really didn't do anything different with it or anything as good as Gunther did. So it's kind of like Gunther's making points here, but Sammy has beaten him before. So Gunther kind of, should say yes if he wants to prove that he can beat Sammy. Speaking of beating Sammy, Braun Breaker, the Intercontinental Champions, backstage. He confronts Jey Uso and tells him to drop out of the Intercontinental title tournament because he will destroy him. Clearly, I hate when they do that. I think Jey should win, but they shouldn't have shown us that because now it's kind of clear as to who they're leading with and who they want to see win. But we have our second Intercontinental title triple threat tournament match. Braun Strowman versus Ludwig Kaiser versus Sheamus. During the match, Braun Strowman accidentally runs through the railing and lands a choke slam to Sheamus to get a 2. Sheamus lands a brogue kick, but then Pete Dunne attacks Sheamus and hits Sheamus in the back with a shillelagh. And then Braun power slams Ludwig Kaiser, and Braun Strowman will now be in that Intercontinental title tournament with Pete Dunne. Still, Pete Dunne's got problems. He's attacking Trick Williams and Sheamus here on Raw. Obviously, Pete Dunne is not done with Sheamus, but what are your thoughts on Braun Strowman advancing here?
I don't mind Braun Strowman advancing, but I just want to know what they're going to do with this guy. They don't really seem. It seems to me they don't have much of a direction for him. Since he's re-signed with the company. So it's good to have him back, though. He's a really good character, a really good guy, and everything. But they need to do something with him because, god damn it, he's the biggest guy on the fucking roster that is actually good. Who's like we've seen a lot of big guys who suck at wrestling. Omos, Great Khali. Braun Strowman knows how to wrestle.
He does. But I think after the momentum from last week's Raw with him with him taking that attack, that tsunami from Bronson Reed, like I felt like they should have done something different with him. And also Bronson Reed's probably going to interfere because he was supposed to be in that match. So I can see them making it where Bronson comes out and does something during that fatal 4-way. Next up, though, we have our main event, Damian Priest teaming up with JEY USO to take on the World Tag Team Champions Finn Balor and JD McDonough. During Jay spears JD McDonough, but then Liv Morgan drops JEY USO on the top, leading Rhea Ripley to come down and attack Liv with Rhea's crutch. Jay then lands a spear to JD McDonough. Damian Priest hits a razor's edge.
Oh my god, I heard that really wrong.
What did you hear?
Crotch.
Oh, crotch, no.
Crutch. I forgot she had crutches on.
I was trying to figure out what I said. No, yeah, the crutch that she used. Damian Priest hits a razor's edge, and then Jey Uso lands an Uso splash to JD McDonough. And Jey Uso and Damian Priest win. with the ending shot being Rhea, Damian, and Jay celebrating in the ring, eating together, and it looks like Mommy's got a new man and JEY USO. What do you think?
I know I'm not that big of a fan of it. I mean, I don't. What is this? So I hope they don't make this a romance. I don't think they will, but I hope not because we don't need another one of this. We don't really need another one of this. JEY USO, that he deserves so much better. I like the guy. I just don't want to see him in a lovey-dovey storyline. I think it's
I get it.
for everyone's personal relationship's sake, they should just stop it. Because Liv and Dom, like I'm not gonna lie, like I listened to Dominik's recent episode of like recent interview on Impulsive, like he did like 2 or 3 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and he talks about like his girlfriend, his wife, who
Mm-hmm.
he's been together with since they were like 14. Like apparently like she understands like the business, whatever, but it's like Liv and Dom really like take it an extra step. Like they act like it's not like Rhea and Dom. If you never took notice, Rhea and Dom never kissed.
Yeah. Well,
She's
they did
like
that
kissed
one
him on his
time, didn't
cheek.
they, at SummerSlam?
No, they've never kissed on the lips. She's kissed him on his cheek and she's licked him in his face. But she's never kissed Dominik on the lips. Dominik and Liv have done that now like 3 times. While Liv has Liv has sat on top of him like in a sex position so many times in the middle of the ring. Outside like backstage segments that are like so freaky. It's like I I don't want to see this anymore. Like I really hope like I don't know. I shout out to Dominik's wife, brother. If she's really that type of girl, that's
Cool with
she
it.
understands. She understands the business because I could not. That could not be me. Like as
I
like
would
a
get too jealous too. I would be
so
like,
I couldn't like it's like yeah we're like you guys can make this a real life thing because like I just don't
you
want
think
to be
we
like
have like a Stephanie McMahon Triple H situation in our hands, I'd be feeling like China.
and I kind of feel like people are like bro they're just friends like you guys don't know shit that some of you guys like I know I'm only 21 but some of these guys on Twitter are too young to understand like the Matt Hardy and Edge, the Kurt Angles and Jeff Jarrett's. Like people don't understand. Like like a lot of these kids, like when they're 18, they're like, bro, like they're just friends. Like they're married. Like bro, I don't know if you know, like TNA, like back in this time, like Chris Benoit's met his wife. Like bro, it's just like this shit has happened so many times with wrestlers. Like people don't think it's capable now when it's happened so many times. That we're like, because like I don't want to get into that, but like yeah, like I
I
just
think they're
hope they stop. I hope they stop doing the story. It's just, but another thing is too. We're talking about like WWE purposes now. We know the fucking backstory. We know these people. I can't believe that Liv and Dom are in love when I know that Dom's married and Liv is with Bo Dallas. I don't think people know.
they're not
I don't
together
think
anymore, Liv.
they're not together anymore.
No,
Oh,
they broke up.
oh. Well, her and JoJo are still good friends then. But yeah, like I don't know. That has to be awkward as fuck for Bo Dallas, right? He's over
It
here doing his
must
Uncle
be.
Howdy shit, and now
Well,
he's over.
Edge and Matt Hardy and Lita, that was not fun either.
No, and that was real. Like that was so real.
Yep. Yes,
That
sir. I
was
remember I
script.
was
Like
hooked.
that was so fucking real. I remember as a kid watching that, thinking that shit was like. Well, I always thought WWE was real as a kid, but like, because like they were doing like side interviews, like Lita was doing interviews, and Matt Hardy called her one time, calling her a slut and all this. I was like, oh my god. And then my brother told my uncle, he was like, yeah, this shit's not fake. Like they're actually hate each other.
They were like really together. They really had that whole
Like my family was really honest with me from the beginning. Like, hey, this shit's not real. Cause like they didn't want me going out and like doing this shit like the other like you know what I'm saying? Like they told me from a really young age that wrestling wasn't real.
spoilers. I'm kidding. Yeah, no, wrestling.
Cause they didn't want me to like start. Cause I was really heavy influence into it to the point where like I would try to like act like the wrestlers in real life, and like my parents just told me, hey, like these guys aren't really like that. Like, their characters are fake. And yeah. So.
Their characters all right, but I mean, I do like this storyline. I know it's getting a little corny, but it's better than what I've seen lately with WWE, so I'm not gonna complain. But I do feel like after a bad blood, they kind of need to end it and move on. But with that, we've covered all of Monday Night Raw. Busy weekend. We've got All Out coming up.
Yeah.
Friday Night SmackDown. We've got Bad Blood coming up in October. A lot of good stuff heading our way. We're in the fall months now, so fun stuff. And with that, until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.